Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. And thank you for being here to celebrate and thank our Vietnam veterans. Our program today will begin with the presentation of the colors by the McCord Field Honor Guard. As the colors are presented, Chaplain Carl Steele will offer our invocation, and Michael Howard from Point Man International will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Honor Guard, toast the colors.
Stand by. Colors. Tense hut. Right shoulder. Horse. Ready, cut. Forward, hearts. Forward, hearts. Left, wheel, hearts. Colors, halt. Present, arms.
Order arms. In 1967, I was 8 years old, and I lived in Mineral Wells, Texas. And in Mineral Wells, Texas, there were 775 helicopters training pilots to go to Vietnam. We'd be out fishing or maybe at the swimming pool, and somebody would come and they would throw somebody in the water, and we would know that somebody graduated. And that's what I knew as an 8-year-old. I knew that somebody went to flight school and somebody graduated. 30 years ago, I was standing in front of the Vietnam Memorial, and I realized that some of those people that I saw thrown in the water and was so excited about the fact that they had graduated were on that wall. Please join me in prayer. Father, may this be a time of healing to those who have sacrificed and whose sacrifices were made so many years ago. To those whose healing was pushed aside, whose grief has grown, whose pain has increased. May this be a time of thanks to those men and women from all our military branches that served our country in the fight for freedom. May this be a time to remember who we are and what we stand for. United, not divided, strong, not weak, and ever-present help in times of trouble. Amen.
Please uncover for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right shoulder, arms. Colors. Colors turn. Hearts.
Everybody, you can be seated. Well, again, a warm welcome to everyone here today as we celebrate our Vietnam veterans. Today is a special day when I think about some folks that are very special to me. I think of Major General Hemphill, who served in Vietnam 3 times, and each time he served there, it was a different look and a different feel. And as an advisor early in the war, and then in the middle of heavy fighting, and then at the end when it was very hectic and everyone was moving out. And I know today we have someone that served 3 times, Bob Silva. Where are you? And is there anyone else that has served 3 times in Vietnam? Is there anyone else that joins him with 3 tours? If we could, all right. If we could, we could have maybe the Vietnam veterans raise your hand, stand up. We just want to appreciate you. We want to honor you, and thank you for everything that you've done and that you have been doing and you will continue to do, because we know. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Our Vietnam veterans, thank you for being here. Raise your hand if you're Vietnam. Yay! Thank you. We honor you. Really respect that time, and we know that you gave up a lot, and we're super proud of you. This morning I have the distinct honor of introducing David Puente, our Deputy Director. He served 7 years on active duty. He was a military police, and so you're always staying at attention and reporting into him. He has been a super leader at WDVA, and super pleased to introduce David and give us some words of wisdom. David.
Good morning, afternoon. Thank you for being here. I think for me, when I was listening to Mary just now, I was reflecting about, I have 2 tios. I have 2 uncles that were in Vietnam. They're both in South Texas, so I do have them. Actually, I had a conversation with him 2 days ago. He called me out of the blue, and I shared with him that I would be doing this today. So for my Tio Max and my Tio Panchin back in Texas, I want to honor them as well. So for today's event, March 29th was established by the Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act of 2017 as National Vietnam War Veterans Day. This year marks the day's 5th anniversary. Vietnam War Veterans Day honors U.S. Armed Forces personnel with active duty service between November 1st, 1955 to May 15th, 1975. As Mary stated a little earlier, this event, there's no distinction between veterans who served in country, in theater, or were stationed elsewhere within those 20 years. In Washington State, a law was passed in 2013 that also recognizes March 30th as Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day. This marks Washington's 9th Welcome Home Vietnam War Day. There's an estimated 172,000 Vietnam veterans living in Washington State. After the war, they returned home to their families and friends. Some used their GI Bill and went to higher education. Others became teachers, started businesses, or found their new missions and became counselors. Whatever your profession that you chose, what's important for each of you is that you help weave the fabric that makes Washington State such a great state and a special place, and it's an honor to be here with you. Today we gather to say 2 powerful and heartfelt words to a group of veterans that for far too long did not hear them. Thank you. Thank you for answering your country's call. Thank you for fighting for democracy. And thank you for fighting for the people of South Vietnam. For too many years, Vietnam veterans have been waiting for their country to catch up, to realize the damage of the homecomings, the lack of homecomings, and to welcome them as honorable veterans as they are. I would be remiss if I didn't also thank you for ensuring that we never make that mistake again. We have learned from our mistakes after the Vietnam War. Today's service members are being welcomed to the veteran community the day that they end their tour of duty. They have access to transition programs, suicide prevention programs, housing programs, and countless other services to prevent anyone from falling through the cracks. Today, we gather at our state's Vietnam Veterans Memorial, it seems fitting that we honor those who made it home, and we also remember those who did not. So we stand with you, with our brothers and sisters, and offer our thanks to one and all. Now, I would like to welcome Jim Sims, Chair of the Governor's Veterans Affairs Advisory Committee, to read the Governor's Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day proclamation. Jim?
Thank you. My first tour was 1966-67 with the 5th Marines, and then I went back in 1970 with the 9th Marines. And it's my honor to read from the state of Washington a proclamation. Whereas the Vietnam War was fought in Vietnam from 1961 to 1975 and involved North Vietnam and the Viet Cong in conflict with the United States Armed Forces in South Vietnam. And whereas on March the 30th, 1973, the United States completed the withdrawal of combat troops from Vietnam. And whereas the Vietnam War was an extremely divisive issue among the people of the United States, and members of the armed forces who served bravely and faithfully were, upon their return home, caught in the middle of public debate about the involvement of the United States in the Vietnam War. And whereas 1,123 members of the armed forces from the state of Washington were killed or declared missing in action in Vietnam, and hundreds more were wounded. And whereas more than 171,980 Vietnam veterans live in Washington, and our nation stands taller and stronger for their service. And whereas the people of Washington recognize that one of the most fundamental obligations is to show respect and dignity to all those who have worn the uniform of the United States and to honor their sacrifice by serving them as well as they served us. And whereas Washington passed legislation in 2013 declaring March the 30th each year as Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day in our state, and therefore I, Jay Inslee, Governor of the state of Washington, do hereby declare March the 30th, 2022 as Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day in Washington, and I encourage all people in our state to join me in this special occasion. Signed, 21st of March, 2022, Governor Jay Inslee. Thank you. Welcome home.
Now it's my pleasure and honor to introduce Dr. Catherine Kamenetsky from the VA Puget Sound Healthcare System. She was appointed as Chief of Staff for the VA Puget Healthcare System on May 28, 2017. And I know she got her medical degree from Duke, so I'm excited about that. So we're thrilled to hear your talk to us today.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Catherine Kamenetsky. I'm Chief of Staff at VA Puget Sound Healthcare System. I want to extend a special thanks to the Washington Department of Veterans Affairs for inviting me to participate in this occasion today. And to all our Vietnam veterans, their families, and guests, as a daughter, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter of veterans, it is a privilege to join you all in honoring our Vietnam veterans for their sacrifices and their service. 9 million American women and men served in the U.S. Armed Forces during our nation's involvement in Vietnam. Approximately 6 million of those patriots are living today in America and abroad. Vietnam veterans also make up many current and former VA employees, helping to shape the way in which VA provides care and services to all veterans. I come to you from VA's healthcare branch, the Veterans Health Administration. VHA is the largest integrated healthcare system in the United States, providing care at nearly 1,300 healthcare facilities, serving 9 million enrolled veterans each year. Locally at VA Puget Sound, we serve 156,000 veterans who are enrolled in primary care at one of our 10 facilities across Western Washington. And nearly 44,000 of those veterans are Vietnam vets. Because veterans don't only get their health care in VA and VA Puget Sound are committed to training future healthcare professionals. We want our veterans to have competent providers no matter where they seek their health care. VA Puget Sound trains over 1,900 healthcare professionals, from anything from neurosurgeons to nurses to physical therapists. And it's often through those experiences in their training that those learners fall in love with VA and fall in love with veterans and fall in love with the mission of VA. And they subsequently choose to work in VA, which was my background as well. Beginning at the Durham VA, actually. We know that furthering science is another way that we can contribute to improving the healthcare of veterans, both to inform healthcare policies and to improve healthcare practices. Locally at VA Puget Sound, we have 11 active studies within the Vietnam era twin registry. For example, one of those studies looks at post-traumatic stress disorder and the symptoms of that, such as sleep fragmentation, and also some of the low activity, physical activity that can increase the risk of cardiac death. Another study is looking at needed resources to support the early identification of diseases like Alzheimer's, so that we can intervene early and provide services to veterans and their families. Another group of our researchers, say that fast, who are experts in 3D printing are studying how to print bone, so that folks who have to undergo surgeries on their jaw and have a lot of bone removed can actually have it replaced right there in that procedure using cells from their own body. Yeah. The results of this research and research projects like these can help not only veterans, and not only Vietnam veterans, but frankly all humans. So these are the contributions that you are helping us to provide to the world. Finally, VA is interested in working to decrease barriers to care that can affect populations differently. Our expertise in population health and data tools is allowing us to use a data-based approach in providing healthcare services to traditionally disadvantaged populations. For example, early in the pandemic, VA Puget Sound used data and an intentional outreach approach in offering COVID-19 vaccines that allowed us to close or prevent many of the race-based gaps experienced by the private sector. Our VA Secretary, Dennis McDonough, is a fierce advocate for veterans and their families, ensuring they receive the care, benefits, and services they deserve. You, our veterans, are at the center of what we do and of why we exist. Thank you again for the opportunity today to honor our brave women and men who served and sacrificed. To our Vietnam veterans everywhere, you have our enduring respect and heartfelt appreciation. You are truly our nation's heroes. Thank you.
Doctor, thank you so much, and I have to just add, because I do use VA medical health system, I'm super proud of all the community-based facilities you have, and the women that has grown their programs, so it's really awesome. There's so many different programs, so I just wanted a shout out to how the VA has really grown and embraced kind of the cutting edge of many things, so thank you for sharing some of those. And now, with great privilege and pleasure and honor, I get to introduce our director, Albie Alvarado Ramos, who has served 22 years on active duty and retired as a Command Sergeant Major at Madigan Army Hospital, Joint Base Lewis McChord. Super proud. She has done so many amazing things and continues to lead us and inspire us every single day. So Alfie, some words of wisdom, please.
First of all, I would like to recognize this afternoon, and good afternoon to all, State Representative Mary Levitt, who is here with us today, and her guest, her dad, who is a Vietnam veteran, please. I would also like to recognize a lot of our partners who are here, especially from the Lacey Veterans Hub, you know, who we have Keith Luker over there, members of the Governor's Veterans Advisory Committee. Raise your hand to make sure that everybody sees who you are. Those are the people who are going to your communities to be able to listen to your needs, to be able to present information and connect more veterans and their families to their earned benefits. So look out for them in all kinds of areas of the states, because they're really busy being able to do town halls and listening sessions to be able to understand what our current and future needs are going to be. So I just want to say good afternoon to all my Vietnam brothers and sisters, to our veterans who are here, family members and friends. We celebrate our service on a day of gratitude and hope in this very hollow place. We chose this place, the Vietnam War Memorial, here in the Capitol campus, because it is the best place to be able to provide our respects to those who went into the post-everlasting, and to be able to have a place to communicate today on something that is going to be important, which is our challenge for second mission to all of our veterans, Vietnam veterans and their family members. I'm speaking on behalf of the Governor and your Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs to bring attention to the emotional wellness of our Vietnam veterans. We are laser focused on increasing access to benefits, connections, and also suicide prevention for not only our Vietnam War veterans, but also to all veterans and their family members. I speak not just to those who were boots on the ground, but also to those that because of different circumstances beyond their control did not serve in country and don't feel they belong or are not worthy to stand whenever somebody says we all the Vietnam veterans stand. Many don't feel that they're Vietnam veterans because they were not in country. I was one of those years ago. I was trained as a combat medic in 1971 and served in a military hospital in DC from 1972 to 1975. I went through a lot of the airports traveling and felt the ire and the disrespect of the public who could not reconcile the job of the warrior with the administration's policies. They could not make the difference. And for that, many of our veterans are still angry and bitter because of the lack of welcome that they receive. This is why we're here today, to continue saying welcome home. This is why today's Vietnam War commemoration is so important. Many of our brothers and sisters are at the intersection of age, retirement, many health challenges, and others are battling homelessness, drug addiction, incarceration, and more. This is a call to action today to each and every one of you, veteran or not, Vietnam or other wars or peacetime or Cold War. This is a call to action to our communities and allies to really bring our veterans home, to bring them home. And that's not just by ceremony, but it's by action. VA is accelerating the recognition of additional conditions and service locations such as Blue Water. And a lot of veterans still don't know about those new conditions. So it's going to be up to us to be able to band together to get the information out and ensure we can get those veterans who are not getting the information to get to know what's available and to be able to really come home to claim the benefits that they earn through their military service. They need to know about it. So today is not just about getting your pin or getting a coin or just attending this ceremony. It's about being charged one more time to have our buddies six, to have our buddies back and not leave them behind, to be able to say something or do something when you see that one of your fellow veterans is just being a little off. Don't just think, oh, it may be a bad day. Ask the question, are you okay? What is going on? Can I do something for you? You know, just bring it out. To become knowledgeable of the services available from your WDVA and our many partners, organizations, and others, because your WDVA is at the ready to be able to provide services and also to provide workshops on peer support that are so important for our veterans to be more informed on how to help. So our actions are going to ensure that our veterans and their families access their benefits, their earned benefits. They're earned, they're not charity. And make sure that they have the support and the quality of life that they deserve to ensure that once they get those benefits, they pay it forward. And that's what's most important, being able to pay it forward. So I just want to say thank you for being here today, and we'll be able to continue with the program, which I'm really excited about. Thank you.
Thank you, Alfie. Appreciate that. And you know, Alfie Heart is just exuding energy and giving you energy to reclaim your health, but also the health and viability of the person next to you, and to just like really embrace what we have right now. At this time, it's my great pleasure to invite Chris Liu, a Vietnam veteran and former Washington State Agency Director, to come forward and help Alfie with the next portion of our program. As part of the National Vietnam War Commission work, Vietnam veteran lapel pins have been created. We are honored to be able to share the pins today along with the Vietnam veteran coin from the Veteran Employment Resource Group. The pins are a lasting memento of the nation's thanks and are engraved with a message that says, "A grateful nation thanks and honors you." At this time, would all Vietnam veterans come forward and receive a pin and coin as a reminder? All U.S. Armed Forces personnel, as Alfie said, anyone who served between 1 November 1955 and May 15, 1975 are part of this commemorative and are invited to receive a pin and coin. So where is Chris? Is Chris? Oh, Chris was not able to make it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, and you're going to come over here on this side? Okay, very good. So, and Jennifer McDaniel has helped us many years at the Veteran Resource Group. She's going to help with the coins as well. So,
so if you can come this way, you know, that way we have Jake. Where's Jake? Jake is going to take a picture from about here. Yes. Yeah, come on.
Okay, so let me have your attention now, please. We're going to do something that we have not done before, and it's a bit of a last minute thing, but we're able to do this today because we have the pins. Will all the military, our Vietnam spouses, Vietnam veteran spouses come forward, please. And get in the same line as your spouses were, because we have the spouse pin, the family pin, which is one that is not very often awarded. And we want to make sure that each and every one of you is able to get it. And we just want to say also, thank you for your service to your spouses, because without you, many of them would probably not be here with us.
That gentleman or pin. He's bringing him up.
My tunnel rags in Vietnam kind of work a little slow.
Is there any more spouses? Do not be bashful.
They want to take a picture with you. I already gave him his pen and coin.
Okay. Len, did you serve? Ellen, did you serve? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary.
Alfie, you want a picture?
Wanted to come, my daughter wanted to come too. Maybe I might get together with buddies tomorrow.
Thank you for coming.
Somebody got to stay home or do something like Cannon Green, gallbladder.
Well, as we come to an end now, you know, we really think about and reflect on, you know, why we're here today. And so much of it today, we really wanted to honor, right? Honor those that came before us and served and was there in Vietnam, and we just honor them. We honor all of you here that are present and family members. And we look to the future. We continue to look to the future to, as Alfie said, continue to connect and help another veteran next to you for good health and quality of life, because that's what we have. We have now and we have the future. We'd like to just see if we could just impromptu, we'd love to be able to capture this moment and ask you to come up and stand with your brothers and sisters. All of the Vietnam veterans who served during Vietnam veterans, if you would come up and join, and I'm hoping that we can get a photo here at the end. This is the end of our yeah, class picture. Thank you, Tim. Yes, thank you. A class picture. Again, this concludes the ceremonies, and we honor you, we cherish you, and we want to see you again next year. Thank you all.